this episode of Diosa Podcast. I'm Carolina Sanper, your host, and I'm thrilled. I'm thriving. Today is Wednesday, and 2 days ago, Monday night, I made a decision. I decided to change. I got tired of my old ways, my limitations. You know that moment when you reach that point that you're like, I cannot choose this anymore. I cannot continue like this. I'll change. And these are the moments you quantum leap. You create a whole different reality when you say, you know what? That's it. It ends here. I reached that point. And this is because I was not one of my priorities. Or maybe yes, but I was the last priority in a few areas of my life. These areas being sleep, food, and what would be my meditation. And this comes from a good place, actually, from a place of giving, from a place of being out there, from a place also of believing that I was too aware that I didn't need the tools anymore, or I didn't need my morning routine, for example. So it comes from my unconscious mind. It comes from being unconscious. And I talk a lot about subconscious mind. I know this because the second date with my partner, I was talking about the subconscious mind. Can you believe it? I talk a lot about the subconscious mind because 95% of our thoughts are unconscious. So unless you go to your subconscious mind, if you don't go, you won't know what's in there, what's the programming there, and you will not change it. And if you don't change it, then you will become it. Your reality will become that. And there's this famous quote that I'm gonna look up right now, that it's from Carl Jung. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. How powerful is this? Unless you're conscious of your unconscious. That's the key. You need to be conscious, you need to be aware of what's in there in order for you to change it. Because then you're gonna experience a different reality. So I got tired of my limiting beliefs, my limiting choices, my limiting habits of being my last priority, and I decided to change. I felt this inside me, this energy moving in my solar plexus. It's time to change. It's time to change. And I know I shared in the last episode about my body changing, about the cellulite that I saw on my legs. In my legs. And at the beginning, that was something physical for me. Like the first impact was physical. And obviously, I wanted to fix that problem physically. Even though I know about energy and I'm aware and I've been in this path for years, the first reaction was to fix that from the physical point of view. And tried a few things, didn't work. Monday night, I became aware of this is here for me. This is working for me. It's happening for me. And it is still here because I haven't received the lesson. I've been fighting with this. I've been trying to get rid of this. I've been avoiding this. I've been whatever this, except looking at it with curiosity and asking, what's the lesson in here? What's the lesson in here? And I felt like, I am tired of my old ways. Tired. I cannot anymore. So I went to bed around 2 a.m. Woke up the next day 6 a.m. because I decided my meditation will be a non-negotiable, as it was. A non-negotiable. And I don't feel bad about this because we change. And that's something that I'm so grateful it's coming through right now, because people do change. We do not change for people, but we do change for ourselves. And I truly, truly believe that. For a long time, I believe that people do not change. People do not change. And I've heard that, I used to hear that as a negative thing. Like, oh my gosh, if you meet this guy, know that he will not change. People don't change. And as I evolved, I've changed. I am not the same awareness as my 18-year-old. I did change. So people do change for themselves. Tired of my old ways. Tired. I decided my meditation will be a non-negotiable again. And when I say again, is for the example, to make it clear, but I don't feel bad that I got off track, because I don't believe there's an off track, because getting off track is also part of the track. It's also part of the plan. You cannot be off track. That is also a divine movement that's leading you to where you're meant to be. So there's not off track here. What I've noticed is that it was like moving. I was trying to fit the old furniture in a new house. So I was trying to put the furniture in the same way it was at another house. And tell me, how ridiculous would be that? If the new house is, for example, bigger, if it has different organization, different designing, what am I gonna do? I'm not gonna be able to fit the old furniture and organize it in the same exact way because it's a new house. And sometimes we pursue that. We want to do that. We want to organize the old lifestyle and copy paste it to this new reality, and you cannot. And I know, because I tried, believe me, I tried unconsciously, because 95% of my habits are unconscious. So I was trying to do this and I failed. If I want to be dramatic, if I want to use that word, I failed all the times. I fail because this is a new reality, a new me, new environment, new characters, new everything. So Tuesday, I decided I will fast for 1 day. And the longest I've ever fasted, do you say it like that? Yeah, okay, let's pretend yes. My longest fast was 80 hours, I believe. Yeah, 80 hours, 3 days and a half. That sounds more digestible, right? 3 days and a half. And this Tuesday was just 1 day. And because my last meal was Monday night, the day was Tuesday night. And then I decided it doesn't make sense to break the fast for dinner, so I will continue the fast. And ended up being 36 hours, a day and a half. That yesterday, I noticed my body fighting. My body fought the fast. And this is because of my mind, obviously. My mind was fighting because I'm in this detox phase. And I know it. My body was fighting the surrender. If I want to change the word, it was not fighting the fast. It was fighting the surrender. Because, that point, you're like, okay, on my knees, I surrender, guide me. And I'm celebrating that. I'm celebrating that I got tired of my own ways. I am celebrating it. I'm excited. I am grateful. I did this fast, and yesterday I decided I will do cleanse. Cleanse is one of my programs, one program that I created in Spanish, and is a super powerful detox. I want to say powerful and detox in the same word. So it is a super powerful detox. Why? Because it's not only about the physical part of a detox, it is also a mental detox, a spiritual detox, an emotional detox. And I will guide you through everything because we have different resources. Being the first resource of the physical part of it, medical medium, this book, Cleanse to Heal. And basically you get rid of protein and fat so your liver can detox in a huge, profound, amazing way. I decided I will do cleanse. The last time I did cleanse was, the last time I launched cleanse was 19 months ago. And this program is 15 days. You will only follow the protocol for 9 days, but it's 15 days long. And the 13th day, I got separated. My ex left the house on the 13th day, and now I was acknowledging that. And oh my gosh, was that part of the detox? It is so powerful, you wouldn't believe it. And it is not easy, it is not hard, but I put it up front because it is not easy in the sense of you're not gonna follow society's rules. You're not gonna follow the pleasing part of it. And what's helping me, because right now I'm in day one, and my body is fighting. There's a part of me that's still fighting, and what's helping me go deeper is this quote by Melissa with Health. How bad you want to feel good. And this is what's fueling me. How bad do I want to feel good? Because now it's not about getting rid of the cellulite for the sake of it or for physical purposes. Now it's so much more about, this is here to show me something that I was not willing to see. I am here to see it, and I am here also to transform it. I am here to choose different. I am here to contribute my body in a different way. I am here to release, because literally something that's inside me that I'm holding to. So it's about releasing, and I'm literally doing that, releasing it. This program, if you're interested in my work in Spanish, even though the Spanish world won't continue or won't be as big, there's a membership where I have all my programs, the programs that at some point created, Magnetica, Cuerpo, Cleanse, and Change. If you are interested, well, we also have meditations, breathworks, and Q&A sessions. If you're interested, there's a membership, and you only pay $16 a month, and you have access to everything. I will share the link in the show notes if you're interested. And if you are part of my English community, don't you worry, babe, because I will release this program next year. I will do a few changes, or I will say I will add more things. Now I'm taking it as a client, and I'm evolving this program. Right now it's super powerful. I will just add the things that I've received. All the wisdom that now I have will be there. I'll keep you posted. This cleanse, I'm doing it day one, and I decided it yesterday. I will do this. I will change. That's it. I'll change. I'm surrendering to a higher power. I'm here. And in that same sense, I was asking today, okay, what's the episode about? What's the next episode about? And I follow my intuition. So I notice a pattern, a theme, others' opinions, someone else's opinion of you. Because I received 3 lessons, 3 gifts, 3 blessings this last weeks. Yeah, to say like that. A few weeks ago. This last weeks. Yeah. So I'm gonna get comfortable, because this is story time. And yeah, you get comfortable whether you're listening to me driving, in your house. This is story time, and the intention behind it all is for you to release, for you to be free yourself from this energy that is not taking you closer to your dreams, and that really is not serving you. So it's like the thing that I have on my sock. I have this plastic thing that had the tag, and it's somewhere there. I can take it out. But yeah, it's not serving you. This is my story at your service, for my story to work to function as a mirror for you, so you can breathe deeply and continue without these limitations. So I'm going to talk about 3, let's say, triggers. I'm going to use that word. The number 1 is my partner received a message, an anonymous message about me. And this was a message that, long story short, said, these are Carolina's intentions with you, and this is Carolina's past. So you better be aware because she's dangerous. Let's say that was the energy, because those were not the exact words, but that was the energy. And this is a message that my partner received. So it didn't move me. It didn't move me because I am here now. In the past, maybe it would have moved me because of the emotional part. And I know that if something triggers you or impacts you like really, really hard, it's because you believe that about yourself. If someone else says XYZ and you believe that to be true about yourself, then you react. I'm not talking about that with this message, because what they were saying, it was something that I don't identify with. So I was like, oh, cool. And I'm talking about the emotional part, like the emotional part of, oh, like, oh, why is this happening to me? I'm talking about that. In the past, maybe I would have felt that, for sure. But now I didn't feel anything, like anything. I read the message and I was like, oh, cool. Like, cool, like the wall is white. What do you want me to say? Like, any judgment about the wall being white? Nothing. And I take that as a victory. A victory. I was talking in the last episode about how much I've evolved internally, my roots, and now this is proof of my evolution. I didn't feel anything, and what I want to share with you is, first of all, the vibration, the frequency of that, creating a fake account to share this hate on me, or this judgments about me, or this perspective about me. That frequency, the frequency of that, I wouldn't say that it's a higher frequency. It is not a higher frequency. It's not connected to awareness, something that's going to create more for everyone. So connecting to that frequency, for me to connect, I have to lower my frequency. And I have to engage with that. That's the first thing. And what creates a lower frequency, let me say it different. A lower frequency only creates lower frequency situations. Do you follow me? Like, that's the path. So I saw it like that, like, oh, this is really interesting because this. And the cherry on top is, we see the world as we are, not as it is. It is impossible for me to see the world without my lens. It is impossible for me to see the world without my thoughts, my emotions, my beliefs, my story. Well, I'm being super dramatic, but we need to be super, 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 super elevated in that meditation state of being no one. Joe Dispenza talks about this, to just perceive awareness. When I'm talking about the human world, we interpret the other person through our lens. I'm seeing the world as I am, not as it is. I'm experiencing all this as I am because the outside world is a reflection of my inner world. And that's a law. That's a universal law. Like, I cannot see outside something that is not within me. So whenever we judge people, we can only see in that person who we are, not who that person is. So it was really, really interesting. Like, oh my gosh. And our relationship, my creationship with my partner, because we call it creationship because of access consciousness, the story behind it is that a relationship is the distance between two dots, let's say. The distance between two humans. And a creationship is two humans walking together, creating something, choosing each other. And that is something beautiful about this relationship we created. We say creationship, and we say, I choose you. I choose you, because I truly believe that love is a choice. We see the world as we are, not as it is. And we've been talking about this, my partner and I, for months. We see the world as we are, not as it is. And that helps us a lot when we're having, let's say, what would be the word? When we're engaged in a disagreement or a miscommunication, or we're seeing different things, it helps us a lot to remember we see the world as we are, not as it is. So what are you seeing? What are you seeing? This is what I'm seeing, and because I'm seeing this, this is how I'm feeling. This is how I'm feeling. How do you feel? And how we can communicate so we move forward in a more aligned way, stronger, loving each other even more. So yeah, that about the anonymous message. Who would I be if I allow myself to be triggered by this? I remember when I started my TikTok and I shared something, a video about expanding time. I know it sounds super woo-woo. It almost feels like, oh, I put myself in that spot of receiving judgments. But I was so fascinated with the comments, because there were all kinds of comments about me smoking weed, thing that I do not do. I don't have any judgment about it now, but I do not do, about my boys, about a lot of things. And I was like, I was fascinated because I didn't have that information in my awareness. Like, oh my gosh, these people is seeing himself, herself through me, because that has nothing to do with me, you know? So it was amazing, and this was just like that. Amazing to see how I am a mirror. And I know I shared with you at some point, I don't remember if here on the podcast or somewhere on social media, about the difference between a wall and a mirror. And a wall, long story short, absorbs light, and a mirror reflects light. So now I know that instead of me absorbing the comments, the heavy energy, the unnecessary information, I am mirroring it back. I am not taking shit anymore. Woo, Carolina, that's a victory. And what would be the word? Like, I'm evolving so much that now my mirror is bigger and brighter and stronger. I'm reflecting more light back. That is a super huge victory. Imagine who would you be if you don't give a fuck about what people think about you. Because, okay, I'm gonna say it right now. Because if someone thinks that they know you, if someone think, oh, I know her, the reality is they do not. Okay, what am I trying to say? Okay, recap. If they think they know you, they don't know you. Because they're seeing you through their lens. Okay? And if they don't know you, they don't know you. So either way, it doesn't matter. They're seeing themselves in you. The second story is I received a message, a comment on Instagram that said, one of the lowest IQ accounts I used to follow. Ha ha ha. Oh well, a face laughing. And I got super excited. Because I'm creating movement. I'm saying something different. I am being relevant. I am relevant for people to attack me. I am out there, and I'm so happy about that. Mel Wells, Amanda Francis, Catherine Sankina, they've all shared that when you grow your business, you receive more of everything because everything is just energy. And I do believe in that. You receive more of everything. That means more clients, more loving accounts, more hate, trolls, everything. Because you're out there being a big mirror, and people is gonna see themselves in you. That's it. So I got super excited with this. And I took a screenshot of the comment and I shared it on my stories, saying one of the neuroscience principles is that reality works as a mirror. You can only see outside what's inside of you. Meaning, we see the world as we are, not as it is. And that is science, you guys. Science, y'all. I shared that. Sometimes we fall into the trap. But this is the principle. Whenever you're judging someone, know that you are seeing yourself in that person. You can only see what you are. And let's use an analogy. If you have no idea what color blue is, you cannot say like, oh, that's color blue whenever you see it. Like, you can only see in the other person who you are. Your reality is a reflection of who you are inside. Your programming. Your beliefs. Your beliefs are your programming. I got super excited. I am relevant enough. I reached that point. Amen, sister. And I answered the comment with, maybe a year ago, I would have felt something because of your comment. But now I know that you see in me who you are, so thank you for your energy. I was thanking him, well, I'm assuming it's a him, for his energy. And I said, talk about you on my stories, hoping You received the attention you were looking for. And then I shared a few stories saying, I'm excited. I'm excited because of this. I'm grateful. Because again, this is a second moment for me to acknowledge how much I've grown. How much. This is an inner victory. Like, oh my gosh, like, it didn't move me. Because I do not believe that about myself. Because I am myself and I know my intentions and I know who I am. So, okay, cool. And I said, I have so many questions. Like, for example, do you have the IQ of every single account that you follow for you to say that my account is one of the lowest IQ accounts that you used to follow? If you used to follow me and for you, I have a lower IQ, so you had a lower IQ, that's why we connected. What's the meaning of having a lower IQ? You know, like, I had so many questions like, oh, this is really interesting. And again, that person doesn't know me, so it cannot talk about me. And if a person knows me, like my mom, she doesn't know about me either, because she cannot see me without her lens, without her beliefs about life. She cannot. My dad cannot. No one can see me without those filters. Therefore, they are seeing themselves. They don't know me. This IQ, and I'm like fascinated. Wow, that person on the other side of the screen just decided to put this energy out into the world. Wow, this is really interesting. With this comment, with this judgment about me, someone that they don't know. And it's like so interesting. Like, this is a big, huge mirror. Like, this has nothing to do with me. And that's a freedom I would love you to feel, to integrate. Joe Dispenza, I'm reading Becoming Supernatural, and shared, I was considering stepping away from the public world and disappearing into a simpler life. It seems so much easier to walk away. And I identify with this because in the past, what I did is because of these comments, because I was creating discomfort outside, I made myself small. Like, oh my gosh, I'm receiving this. Oh my gosh, like, this is too much. This is too much because I'm putting people, or I'm creating this discomfort. And now, because I'm sharing my truth, because I'm sharing universal principles, because I'm sharing how to create more, I'm receiving this, so I'm gonna make myself small. I'm not gonna talk. And I did this for years. I would say that I did this year, and I've done it so many times. And I'm working on it. I'm working on not making myself small to please people, to not put people uncomfortable, because I know, and this anonymous message said something about red flags. Well, I do know my red flags, a few of them, yeah, because a few of them are unconscious. So, as your red flags. But I do know a few, and that's my own job to be a better me. And by that, I don't mean with the expectation of, but no, I'm here to evolve. I'm here to become, to remember how to be the most elevated version of myself. So one of my red flags is I'm gonna put myself uncomfortable before putting someone else uncomfortable. For example, this is something really silly, or not, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. So yesterday, I was really, really tired. Really, really tired. I prepared my things for my cleanse, and I was really, really tired, but I was doing things for the family. And then my partner that was cooking dinner, his dinner, felt frustrated about dinner because he was rushing because of the rocket skiing. So he was like, oh, ah. And then I said, okay, leave it there. I will do it. For example, like that is one of my red flags, that I was uncomfortable too, but I don't want people to feel uncomfortable. So better to feel uncomfortable myself than to make someone else uncomfortable. You know what I mean? So I did that a lot, a lot. I made myself small to not put people uncomfortable, and then it didn't work. It didn't work because my purpose is to share my art. Your purpose is to share your art, and by art I mean yourself, your talents, the things that give you life. That's your purpose. And if you don't follow it, you're dying on the inside. So it doesn't matter the equation, it'll be bad. I was dying on the inside. And the third story is that, well, let me open the door for Tara. Okay, I opened the Tara. What I meant is I opened the door for Tara. And I am back. Okay, this is the second time I recorded this episode, because the first time my partner arrived to the house and I got completely distracted. So I decided, okay, I will record it again. Everything's perfect. I don't have scripts for the episodes. I just have my bullet points sometimes. So I decided, okay, cool. This is it. I will record it again, embracing that everything works for me. I'm here. Everything's good. Let's do it. The third story is a family member message. Oh my gosh. Like, the moment you decide I will change, God, universe, source is like, okay, finally, we're gonna send her the lesson for her to evolve, because she will need this for the next chapter of her life. So let's send her this. And like I was like yesterday, like for real, I decided Monday morning everything will change because I'm changing. I'm choosing different. Tuesday morning, challenge. And I was like, come on. I woke up 6 a.m. to meditate, like, come on, help me here. And then challenge after challenge after challenge. And I was like, oh my God, like, is this a joke? I was just looking up, like, for real. You better be laughing at me and having fun, because I'm changing still. I'm not quitting this time. And it's not that the other times I quit, but everything was perfect. So I received this family member message, and the context is a couple that's part of my family. One is blood related. I don't know if you say it like that, but one of them blood, and the other one not blood, because they're a couple, right? So I received the message from the one that it's not my blood. And I was like, okay, God, like for real. Again, I read the message and I was like, okay, cool. This doesn't talk about me though. Okay, cool. And it broke me in the sense that I was, okay, I'm releasing everything here. Like, I'm surrendering here. Like, okay. this is a theme, and there's something in here, God, that you want me to have because I will need for my next chapter. So I just felt this immense desire to cry for releasing, to release all the things that I was holding on to. Like, okay, I'm just going to release this because, again, and I will repeat it over and over again, we see the world as we are, not as it is. So I received this message and was just like, okay, interesting again. And the context is they experienced a really stressful situation a few months ago. And they, I would say, had, because I'm able to say this because they communicated this with us as a family, they created a lot of expectations around us, the family members, created a lot of expectations, and we didn't meet the expectations. A few members of the family, we didn't meet the expectations. And at some point, I talked with the relative that is blood relative. And I said, you know what? Oh, because that person said in a very emotionally charged way, I will continue my life without expectations. And then I said, because of the things I know, like that's the way to live. Like you cannot have expectations about anything and anyone because you're going to limit yourself with that. Just be open to the unknown, open to the things that you cannot, what would be the word? That you cannot comprehend with your mind. Be open to miracles, the things that you cannot measure with your mind. Be expectation free. And I said that. And it was not the moment for me to share that. Because I was like, well, that's the way you are going to thrive in life, without expectations. A few members of the family, we didn't meet the expectations, and this whole thing is about me sharing with you that in this situation, we're going from an anonymous message to a more personal message, because it was a comment on my Instagram, to a more personal experience with a family member. In these three situations, the same thing. They're seeing me through their lens. So we see the world as we are, not as it is. And I cannot control the idea of me. For these expectations, and the thing about expectations is that I feel, and I'm saying feel, I feel that whenever we have expectations, we don't communicate in a clear way, like, okay, I need you to meet this criteria. It's so much more about something that you create inside of you, and you want the other person to read your mind so they can fulfill your expectations. And I've done it, don't get me wrong. Like, I've been there. I've been the person that creates the expectation. But that's something that we design in our mind, and we're not open to all the possibilities that are available. And then we are led with disappointment. And that has nothing to do with me, because if that same person creates expectation about a business, about something else, usually people say, like I know older people, that if you create expectations, then you get disappointed. And also, you don't get surprised because you have a huge expectation that you're only looking for that. And if there's something wonderful, more amazing, you're not going to see it because you're looking. Your attention is in the thing that you decided previously that you will receive. And if you decided previously that you will receive that, it will be something from the past because you can only what would be the word? You can only take the information from your past. So if you are using expectations, you're living in the past because you only have the memory of the past. It's about being in the unknown. So that about expectations, and that is also for me. Priorities. I was not my priority in a few areas of my life, and I shared that in the very beginning of this episode. I acknowledge that I was not one of my priorities, and we all have priorities, and being our first priority is a way to go because that's the way it is. I cannot give you water if my cup is empty. Like I cannot. And sometimes people, another person, or we want other people to leave themselves as a priority, to take themselves out of that list. And we want to be the first priority of that person. And I know this because in the past, I had that misconception. Like a relationship, for example, is about this. Like I need to be his priority before himself. And if my marriage taught me something, was this. Like it's about me being my first priority and allowing the space for him to be his first priority. And I didn't have this because I didn't learn this. I didn't learn this, and my programming was different. And I'm not saying I was a bad person, I'm a better person. I was different. I didn't have this information. I was not this awareness. I did it the best I could at that point with the tools that I had. That was it. With the best of intentions, but I didn't have that. And now I do know, okay, I should be my first priority because everything is growing through me. And now I see it so very clearly. Whenever I, for example, meditation is one of the tools that helps me elevate my frequency. If I don't engage in those things that nourish me, I cannot nourish my family the same way. So if I am not in this higher frequency that I love, in this nourishment space, I cannot nourish my family. It's as if I didn't grow the flowers inside me, I cannot give my family flowers because I'm empty. And to wrap up this idea, I cannot control the idea of me. And that's not my job. I don't have to go to the other person and say, well, you know what? Like, you should believe this about me because let me open my heart. This is who I am. Like, I cannot, even if I want to, because that person cannot see me without their lens. They cannot. So feel free to release it. And also have the awareness of they're helping you see who you are. So whenever you catch yourself judging someone else, know that you are seeing you in that person. And that's a great opportunity for you to evolve, for you to take that person as a teacher, to be grateful for, wow, I'm seeing this about myself. whatever it is, because whatever it is, whatever judgment you are seeing in that other person, that is also not true about yourself. If you're seeing the other person and thinking, oh, stupid, for example, that is not the ultimate truth about you. You're not stupid. You weren't born to be stupid. That's not your purpose. God didn't install the stupid chip forever. Like, no. No baby was born with the idea of not being enough or the idea of being a stupid. We learned those things. We learned that we weren't worthy. We learned that we were stupid. We learned that we weren't good for XYZ. We learned those things. We didn't come to this planet with that limitation. We learned them and we can unlearn them. We can release them. That's why cleanse is so powerful and beautiful, because it's a holistic detox. I cannot control the other person. I cannot control the idea of me, and that's not my job. So I will just release it, giving thanks for everything, because I know that everything is working for me. And now I've been asking for more business-wise, for more of my business. And I know that this is working for me because this is gifting me this version of myself that doesn't give a fuck about the comments, that doesn't move, because I know who I am here in the center, in my heart. I know. And these people is helping me see that I am the person that I say I am. I am that person. It's like, wow, all the work that I did is paying off, because now I'm receiving this. These 3 situations gifted me the awareness of, wow, I evolved. And now I have this in my subconscious mind. Now, no one can control my emotions in this particular area. Wow. And this is what was required from me to reach that next level of my business, because it's growing, it's evolution. It's this other container. Well, I'll receive more of everything, more of the good things, more of the bad things, if I want to use those words. And now I have this strength, this confidence, this trust. And it's so delicious that I'm grateful, because the gift is that the next level, the new strength, this new reality, more of me, more of the authentic me, the unfuckwithable me. And the last thing I want to share is about emotions. I share with the kids, I shared this with the kids. No one, because it's something that I learned through RRT, Rapid Resolution Therapy, through Manifestation Babe. If a lion is chasing a zebra, who's creating the fear within zebra's mind? The lion or mine's zebra? And the answer is the mind of the zebra is taking the outside world and filtering that outside world, and it's reading the lion as a threat. Now, we're using that analogy, but whenever you see something else, like the outside world is just the outside world, and you filter that world through your own lens. So what I share with the kids is, whenever they say, you're making me mad, you're making me sad because I don't let them watch TV before school at 7:30 a.m. You're making me mad. I just remind them of I cannot control your emotions. I cannot go inside you and control your emotions and say, oh, this is the emotion now I want her to have. I cannot control your emotions. Like, you're in charge of your emotions. Your mind is receiving what I'm doing and creating an emotion, but I am not responsible for that. And you have one perspective. If you change that perspective, it's going to create another emotion. So it's up to you, because no one can control your emotions. And I wish I knew that as a kid. It would have avoided me a lot of drama, but everything's perfect. Everything works for me. And if it shouldn't have happened, it wouldn't have happened. That's one of my mantras. If it happened in that particular way, is because it was supposed to happen in that particular way. So that sets me free. Because also, if something happened, it doesn't exist anymore. If something didn't happen, it doesn't exist anymore. So emotions, no one can control your emotions. No one. You're seeing the world as you are. And that is a freedom. For the world to be a mirror, and for you to be aware that the world is a mirror for you. And just say like, you know what? Like, I didn't like the scarf of the outfit, so I would change the scarf and go to your subconscious mind. Create magic. That's it. I think that's everything. Oh my gosh, I love that I recorded it again, because it's so much more powerful now that I'm aware and not distracted. So I will catch you in the next episode. I love you. Mwah.